I'm going to be doing some Reiki. I know that there's a lot of people that are not feeling well right now as far as like health-wise. And so I figured I would do some Reiki for that. I wasn't feeling so well myself either. So when I do it for other people, it helps me too. So we'll just do it together. And I'm just getting my cedar sage, if it will work with me here. Okay. Cedar sage is to remove anything that is no longer serving us. And this can be physical ailments. This can be emotional, spiritual, physical. Like I said, it can be an assortment of things. It doesn't always just have to be physical ailments that are making us feel ill. And then I'm just cleansing the space with this as well. Okay. So now I'm going to go in and use this spiritual guidance incense stick, and this is going to cleanse everybody's auric fields. Hey Larry, how are you doing this evening? And I still feel like my camera is so close to my face so y'all can see my hands. Okay, that's a little bit better. I have this behind me. This is also going to help with the energy. It's my chakra tapestry, and it helps magnify the energy behind me. It kind of like projects around me. Okay. So this incense stick is going to cleanse everybody's field. You said you're feeling lonely, but okay. Feeling lonely is not fun. It's not. I'm sending you a big hug. And if you stick around for the Reiki, even though that's not necessarily like a physical ailment, even though you can feel it physically, you can ask the Reiki to help you with that as well. And help take those feelings from you. Hello, everybody that's joining. Okay, I'm going to be doing some Reiki, and right now I'm just kind of setting up the space for the healing. And thank you for all the likes. That helps get it to more people so they can also heal and enjoy. And I'm cleansing everybody's auric field right now. Okay. So I used my sage and then my incense, and I'm going to use my selenite wand. And this is going to cleanse away anything that's no longer serving this. This could be physical ailments, spiritual, emotional. So oftentimes when we're feeling sick, we're just not ourselves. It doesn't always have to be something physical. It can also be spiritual. Like sometimes you feel like you're stagnant and not growing in different areas of your life, and that's okay. Sometimes we're in the void space, and that's something that I'm just now coming out of myself. And that's where old things are. Ooh, let me turn my notifications off so they don't bother y'all. Okay. So, being in the void space, that's when things that are no longer serving you are leaving your life. And sometimes that can be really scary because you think everything is like falling apart. But sometimes that has to happen in order for like better things to come in and things that you're in alignment and resonance with. But that can make you physically ill because it has like death energy attached to it, if that makes sense. Like, not that you're dying, just that it's like something is being plucked out of your reality. And sometimes that can be very guttural. And so that's one example of making you feel like spiritually like off. Emotionally sick, that's when you're holding on to things like anger and sadness and guilt and shame and not processing those through your body. And so our bodies are energy and motion. So if we are holding on to all those things, it starts to crystallize in our energy body, and it can make you feel really heavy. And then mentally, so mentally, you can feel ill. because if you're having a lot of negative thoughts about yourself, or having self-doubt or imposter syndrome, a lot of those things can make you feel like mentally ill and make you feel like not yourself. And so the whole point of this was that it doesn't always have to be physical ailments that are making you feel sick. And thank you everyone for the likes and the roses. I appreciate that. Okay. So I'm going to use this goose feather that I have that I found near my lake. What I like to do with it is like I spin it like this, and so it attaches to the cords in your energy body of whatever I'm trying to pull away, and then I like spindle it together and like pull it off of your energy body. And so if anybody doesn't want me to do anything for you, right, you have willpower. You can just say like, no, I don't want that part. And that's okay. And first what I like to do is come in and like brush away anything. It's like attaching to you, like other people's energy that you don't want on you anymore, right? Or even like your own thoughts and feelings and emotions that like aren't serving you. Like this is good to brush those off. And like I programmed it. And by program it, I mean like we had a conversation and I said, hey, can I use you in my, like ceremonies that I do with Reiki? And it was like, absolutely. So, and I also like that it was like attached to a bird at one point. And I love birds too. And so, hey, White Enchantress, how are you doing? I'm doing some Reiki for healing, since I know a lot of people aren't feeling well right now. Okay, so, thank you for your support. Thank you. And so, what was I saying? Okay, about the birds. Okay, so I really like birds as form of healing, and if everybody saw my doves that I put in like the description, and that's because birds can fly above the problem and look at it from like an objective point of view, and look at it from like the macro, because sometimes we get stuck down in the micro and it's hard to like see our way out of situations. Oh, thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate that. That's very sweet. Thank you, doves. Yes, I love doves so much. Okay. And now what I'm doing is, I like to explain what I'm doing. So I do that a lot. So I am spindling anything off of your energy body that's no longer serving you or you don't want on there, and like intertwining it here, and then like pulling it off. Okay. And I asked the feather if it was okay with me doing that. And it said yes. We have an agreement. Okay. Thank you for all the likes, everyone. It helps get it to more people. And you said yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to say that too. In order to receive the Reiki, you just have to say yes. You can say that out loud. You can say it in your mind. And if there's any portion of it that's like not resonating with you, that like you don't like, you can just say no to that part. You don't have to accept all of it. Okay. I gratefully accept this healing energy. Okay, great. So hopefully you enjoy. Yes, I do Reiki. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm getting this energetic space set up to do that. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to use this protection spray for everyone, because when we're in a healing space with one another, and we're working on like different dimensional planes, with Reiki, especially because Reiki can go across all space, time, and dimensions. And so I always like to make sure I'm like protecting everyone that I'm healing. And so this is Florida water, and it's good for just, like I said, cleansing your energy and like protecting you on different dimensional planes, and for receiving energy too, right? Because I want to make sure I'm sending you the best energy possible. So I want to be mindful of what I'm sending to you as well. Okay, I'm going to be using crystals to help amplify the energy. and for to send specific things to you. And so I'll let you know what those crystals are while I'm using them as well. Okay. Is everybody feeling okay? We're also going to be doing affirmations because I love affirmations. That's how you program your subconscious. And so when you say them out loud too, it kind of puts it into law because it's sending that vibration out into the universe and telling it kind of like, hey, I want more of that. And so your subconscious will start to look for those things. So I always say you can say them out loud, you can say them in your mind, but saying them out loud really like solidifies it into matter, if that makes sense. Physics. That's something I'm really interested in. Okay. And thank you for the lollipop. That's very sweet. Okay. All right. What am I going to use next? Let's see. So I have this peppermint essential oils, and I really like peppermint because it like helps everything up here if you've been really stuffy. And so this is my peppermint here. So I'm going to use this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger and then I'm going to run it over everyone's face area, okay? To help get the energy moving. If you've got like mucus, I'm sorry, that's gross, but if you have mucus or anything like that, this will help like clear all of that away, okay? Wild peppermint tea heals cancer. There's so many things that like modern medicine doesn't share with people, like dandelions and things like that, especially like with cancer. Hopefully, you know, with us shifting into this new way of being, those things will be more prevalent in society. Okay. Like how? It looks greasy. Okay. I kicked the hospital system out of my life. Yeah, I don't have to, I won't get like super into that because I don't know, like if that's going to be triggering for people. But there's a lot of holistic healing that is not talked about in society. Okay, and right now what I'm doing for everybody that's joined in is I'm working on everyone's like throat and third eye and crown chakra, and I'm moving around any stuffiness that you might have if you haven't been feeling well. And I've got peppermint on my hands, and so I'm just projecting that energy. Can you smell it? I love coming across people that have that clair, I can't remember the clair name, but have that extrasensory ability to like smell things. I think that's amazing. Okay, recovering from loss of your daughter. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sending you a big hug. And you know, you can ask the Reiki to help you with this. Like when I put healing, a lot of times people think that's just physical healing, but I'm doing this for spiritual healing, emotional healing, mental healing. Just anything that you need. And so you can definitely ask the Reiki to help you with that. And I'm sending you a big hug too. I need to heal so much. Okay, well good. I'm glad that you're here. And what I'm doing right now, I've got peppermint on my hand. And so I am running this over everybody's like top 3 chakras. And so it clears out your sinuses. Because mucus really makes people sick. Like if you're stuffy and have a lot of mucus in your body, that can make you feel, it can reverberate out into a lot of different areas of your life. So getting rid of the mucus is definitely important. Breath appreciation, absolutely, because breath is life. And you need it to live, okay? And so having clear breath is important. I love everybody that can smell it. The peppermint, like that's awesome. I love that. Okay, and I just want to say if everybody follows me, I do Reiki and I do Oracle card pull lives as well. Okay, my mom left when I was 8 to give me a better... I hope you're okay with me reading this. Okay. My mom left when I was 8 to give me a better life in the U.S., but I'm learning it caused trauma. Yeah, absolutely that would cause trauma. Like, it sounds like that she made a great sacrifice, but, like, that probably caused a lot of, like, abandonment issues. And, like, things going on maybe, like, in your root chakra, because that's what has to do with, like, safety and security. And, like, even though it was probably for something good, for you to have a better life, that can still be very traumatic. And so I think something that would be really good for you, and you may not be ready for it yet, and when I say that, it's because a lot of people put like so much pressure to heal your inner child. Sometimes you're not ready for that. Like, you have to deal with things that are like more current right now. And so if you're ready to go back in, your inner child is the one that needs the healing. Because, like, logical minded you, like right now, is like, why am I still dealing with this, right? As an adult. Well, it's because, like, there's a portion of you that, like, splintered off when you were a child. And that version of you needs to heal. And so sometimes to do that, like, if you're wanting to heal your inner child, what you can do is sometimes they're not ready to go through all that trauma and sift through it and heal it. Like, we can't force them to do that. That you imagine it's like a 5 or 6 year old in there, okay? And how scary that would be. And so the first step that I say for people, like, if you're wanting to do that, is just say, hey, I see you. I see you're in there. And I see that you're hurting. And I want you to know I'm here. And I love you. And, like, give them a really big hug. And tell them, when you're ready, I'm ready. So you let me know when you're ready to start healing in that area. And then we'll come together and do it. Okay? And a great way to build that relationship with them, sometimes my eyes get my contacts. So a great way to do that is to do something fun with them. Like an activity. So, like, things that you would have liked as a kid. And do those together and kind of start to build that relationship with them. And so they feel more comfortable coming to you when they're ready to start healing. Okay. I know I went off on a tangent, but hopefully that helps. Okay. And if it makes you feel any better, I can empathize with that because oh, you're welcome. Because my mom, was in and out of my sister and I's life, and I had a lot of abandonment issues that I needed to heal, even though I was in a better situation with my grandparents, but it was still very traumatic and it hurt very much. And so my heart goes out to you, and I'm giving you a big hug. Okay, Shelly, I suffer from asthma. I appreciate this breath work so much. Hopefully you're okay with me reading that. So I'm sending you, clear breath. Sending everybody clear breath right now. So I'm really focusing on your crown chakra and your third eye chakra and your throat chakra because, like, mucus can get really built up right there. And it's no fun to not be able to breathe. And so I put peppermint on my fingers. And I'm projecting that energy to you, to your etheric body, to help kind of get all of this moving up here. I, like, felt the peppermint in my eyeballs while I was, like, my hand. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this is my plant, Uma. So Uma came into my life like a month ago. And I named her Uma because Uma Thurman played Poison Ivy in Batman. And so I love Uma Thurman so much. And so I was like, ooh, Uma is a great name. So she told me before we got started that she wanted to come in and help with Reiki. And so that's what we're doing. Let's see. I'm okay and grateful with your sharing. Okay, I'm giving you a big hug. Okay, so Uma She's just going to hang out with us for a minute. And I'm just going to help amplify her energy. And when we were talking about breathing, so she was like, that's what I'm for. And like, I was like, okay. She was like, put me in the screen. So, right. Very sassy. So I am just helping to amplify her energy towards everyone to help with your breathing and making you feel better. Yes, all of my plants are very sassy. And so they all have like fun personalities. I have really been getting into like plants energy and like shamanism and working with animals. And so it all started like with taking better care of my plants, and being more intentional with them and like talking to them and like feeling their leaves, and they like to like give you energy back. And they started really wanting to have more conversations with me. And then now when I go out into nature, I can hear everything, like on a psychic level, I can hear it a lot better. And so, people that are wanting to like work with nature more, I say, a great thing to do is get plants for your home and just start connecting with them. And it's almost like they tell the other plants outside, like, hey, right. And so anybody that's joining right now, I'm doing Reiki. I know I look really weird just holding my plant up like this. And so this is Uma Thurman, and she wanted to come in and help with the Reiki. And so like, I'm just helping amplify her right now. Do you hear the songs? Is there specific songs? Okay. I want a plant wave so bad. Is that the one where you like hook the little things up to the plants and then it starts like playing the music? Because I would absolutely love to get one of those one day. Yes. Okay. I also have peppermint on my hand, which is like projecting to everybody and helping clear. Okay. All right. So Uma, I'm gonna put Uma next to us over here, but she's gonna keep helping as we go along here. Okay. And thank you for all the likes. I appreciate that. Everybody that's just now joining, I am doing Reiki, to help you heal, whether that be physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, all of the healing. Okay. So we're going to say an affirmation together. I'm going to say it out loud, and I always suggest saying it out loud, because when you use your voice and you say things like that, it makes it into law, and it sends that vibration out into the universe, and the universe works like an algorithm, so it'll start to program your subconscious when you say things like that, and then bring them into your reality, and it almost like solidifies what you're saying into matter and like makes it denser, so it like appears on this plane, if that makes sense. We don't have to get real esoteric. But I just really am big on like saying affirmations as well as saying them in your mind. Okay, so if everybody wants to follow along and do it, after I say it, if you want to put it in the chat, it will help solidify that into your paradigm. And then like, I'm going to amplify the energy of the affirmation. Okay, so you saying it in the chat is going to help, but then you saying it out loud is going to help even more. There's so much peppermint on my hands right now. Okay, so the first one, this one's very simple. So we're going to say, I am healthy. Okay, I love saying things 3 times because I just feel like there's a real power in saying things 3 times. So we're going to say, I am healthy. Beautiful. Okay. I love everybody participating in the chat. I am healthy. Okay. And like I said, I am amplifying that energy. So you saying it is solidifying it into your paradigm. Me amplifying is solidifying into your paradigm. Uma is solidifying it into your paradigm. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody. I am healthy. That is the affirmation that we are claiming right now. And that we are restructuring our DNA. And we are recoding the cells of our body. Okay, that's what we're doing. Okay. All right, I'm going to drink some water here, and then I'm going to use one of my crystals. Okay, so the first crystal we're going to use, this is Moonkite Jasper. Okay, and this is good for feeling grounded and connected to Mother Earth, feeling safe and secure with yourself and with others. Okay, trusting yourself, trusting life. And so this is great if you're not feeling well, because it helps ground you. Like I say, I use word grounding a lot, but it helps you come into your body and kind of recalibrate and figure out what's going on and what's going to best serve you to help you feel better. And so that's why I like to use Moonkite Jasper for that. So I'm going to put it in the screen. I'm just going to wave it over everybody. Okay, and project that or amplify that energy for you. And you can see my tapestry in the background. This is my, hold on, I'll move out of the way. This is my chakra system tapestry. And I like to do Reiki in front of it because my friends and I programmed it to be a portal of healing. So my friends and I went to Savannah. Or no, I got this in Atlanta. I'm sorry, we went to Savannah second. My friends and I went to Atlanta, Georgia. And we did like a vacation together. It was very magical. It was fun. And we all have one of these tapestries. And so we programmed them all to be portals of healing for us and for other people. And so it's not only my energy entwined into it, it's other people's like intention for it to be a healing portal. Oh, you're sending it to your senior golden retriever. I'm going to be holding your golden retriever in my mind as we go to. I absolutely love dogs. Like, I have 2 dogs myself. I have a pug and a beagle. And I actually used to own a doggy daycare for about 7 years. Fun fact. And I did training and boarding and grooming and like all kinds of things. And I absolutely love golden retrievers. They're the sweetest. Okay. Okay, we're doing grounding. So tell your baby I said hello. And that this Reiki is for them too. Oh, the sweetest. He's getting all the cuddles. That's adorable. Do you mind sharing his name? If not, that's okay. I understand if that's for like privacy reasons. Okay. I am just, well, not just going to. Frankie! Okay, cute. That's a super cute name. I love that, Frankie. Okay, so I am, thank you for sharing. That made me smile. And so I am amplifying the grounding energy right now. And you said you wouldn't believe the synchronicity since you came on, girl. Whoa. Okay, I'm glad that you're experiencing synchronicities and magic. And that's probably like the healing energy too, because you know, like if you're not feeling well, it's hard to see the synchronicities because you're just like really hyper focused on trying to feel better. And so maybe this helped like turn your magic on a little bit more so you could see everything and feel everything. I'm a dog groomer. I just came in. Were you just talking about the question mark that? I'm not sure what you mean by talking about that, but I was talking about how I used to own a doggy daycare. And we were talking about somebody's puppy, Frankie, the golden retriever. It's numbers, words, feelings, everything. Okay, yeah, it definitely sounds like you just made some more energetic space in your body so you could, like, feel everything again. If that makes sense. Because when I'm not feeling well, like, the synchronicities and, the magic and stuff, like, tapping into it, it's not more difficult, but it's definitely, it just, like, throws you off. And so maybe, like, the healing energy helped you kind of tap back into that a little bit more. My dream job would be with dogs. It's super fun working with dogs. They're like kindergartners, like working with a big old class of kindergartners. They also have their own like spunky fun personality. I definitely recommend even just like volunteering, like maybe at a shelter. It's so incredibly healing to work with dogs. Like, so incredibly healing. Dog grooming. I never did grooming myself. There was groomers that worked at the facility. I didn't have the patience to do grooming because dogs are just real wily sometimes. And so like I was fine like wrestling around with them and doing the training and the daycare part, but like I commend groomers. I really do. I really do. Okay. And for everybody joining, I am doing Reiki for healing. He said, I worked at the zoo, best and weirdest job ever. Oh, that sounds like it was so fun, but I could see how there would be like, it could be a lot, like a circus. There's just so many things that you have to like keep on top of and take care of. What were your favorite animals at the zoo? Oh, thank you. Saying I have great energy. That's very sweet. Thank you. That's actually one of the best compliments that I could ever receive. Like saying somebody has great energy, like that means that you can like see them like at a soul core level. Okay, giraffes. I love giraffes too. I really do. And if you like giraffes, I'm going to tell you something because I work with like spirit animals. So giraffes are representative of reaching up for higher dimensional information and bringing it here and sharing it with people. And so it's almost like you are a transcribe for wisdom. Okay, I worked with giraffes, lions, and orangutans, and tapirs. I think tapirs. Great apes are super interesting. All of those sound so much fun to work with. But being around a lion is very powerful. Okay, yeah, you should look up giraffe spirit animals. Like if you're really drawn to them, there's probably some messages that the giraffe has for you. And so like if you focus on them, whatever you think your spirit animal might be, so you can Google them or watch YouTube videos or change the background on your phone to the animal and ask it to talk to you and like send you messages, and it will start to give you like downloads. And you're welcome for the light. I'm glad you're enjoying. I am amplifying grounding energy right now for everyone that's been feeling a little off, a little spazzy, feeling not like themselves. Okay, I've been getting a lot about spirit animals lately. If you worked at a zoo and you like animals like that, you might be having like shamanism come online, right? Okay, I thought about my spirit animal. It might be a gray wolf. I love wolves. I have a hoodie that I wear that has a wolf on it, and every time that I wear it, it's funny how I just said wear, like werewolf. Every time I wear it, I just feel very connected to like a shamanism. I'm not even trying to say the word I was trying to say. Shamanistic. Okay, my words today. I feel my ties to like the shamanistic portions of my life. And so maybe you should get some clothes with like a wolf on it. And it helps amplify that energy. Like if you wear an animal on your body, whether that's like a tattoo or jewelry, it helps amplify the energy of that animal and helps you connect to it. Okay. Yes, wolves are amazing. Okay. So I'm going to, before we go to the next thing, I am going to use this incense. It's spiritual guidance incense. And so this is just cleansing everybody's auric field. Okay, drum beats do something to my soul. You're on point with the shamanism for me. Yeah. I think it would be really good for you to wear things with animals on them. I think that would help unlock parts of you that I'm kind of just like picking up on intuitively. And so if you can wear like a necklace or like a shirt or like a ring or something with whatever animal you're trying to connect with, I really think that would help you with that. If you need help or if you're trying to get into it. Talifid. If you want to ask a question, sure. I don't know if I can answer it, but I can try. So I am cleansing everybody's auric field right now, and I'm doing Reiki to help with healing. It said, are you a medium or a spiritual healer? I'm a spiritual healer. I like dabble in mediumship, but it's more like when somebody's person wants to come talk. If they want to come talk, sometimes I can pick up on it, but it's not something that I specialize in. Okay. Thank you. I'm always learning. Yes, aren't we all? And we are all just in cycles of learning. Okay, let's see. Will he find a way to talk to me, or should I make the first move? Let's see. I'm not really answering questions like that right now, but I can tell you that if there's something that you want to go after in your life, that you'll regret not doing it. If that makes sense. Like, you'll look back and say, dang, I should have done that. Even if it's like even if like it doesn't necessarily go your way, on the other side of being like scared, is being brave. And we don't want to live with regrets. Even if that person says no to you and then they don't want to be in a relationship with you, at least you know that you were brave and that you took that leap of faith. And sometimes like life throws us things like that to see if we're going to take chances on ourselves and our happiness. And so if you do that, it'll start bringing you more, because that is how the universe works. It works like an algorithm. So it says, ooh, if I see them being brave and courageous and going after what makes them happy, even if this situation doesn't work out, I will bring them more. Okay. Oh, you feel it in your solar plexus? Oh, that's awesome. And like I said, this Reiki is going to hit you wherever you need it. So maybe that's where you need it, in your solar plexus. And some energy, because like in our solar plexus, it's like where we store a lot of energy, and so it sounds like maybe that it's like filling your cup back up in your solar plexus. Being brave is not desperate. Absolutely not. No, it is not. Putting yourself out there is scary. It really is scary. My throat feels weird now, like there's something hugging it. Okay. So with your throat chakra, what you're probably feeling, sometimes Reiki will pull things out of you if there's like been stagnant energy somewhere, and you can feel like a tugging or like a hugging, because it's trying to get that energy moving. And to me, it sounds like that you're wanting to express yourself authentically, and that has to do with your throat chakra. And so that's probably your throat saying, yeah, it would be a good idea for you to say how you feel. I can tell what I need to work out by what color shirt I feel like wearing. That is a great tip. That is an excellent tip. I actually did that the other day, and I put a red shirt on, and I was feeling very ungrounded, and I unconsciously put the red shirt on, and then I looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, oh, you needed to ground. And so that is an excellent tip to, if you want to work with a specific chakra in your body, is to wear the color throughout the day. And so, especially if you see yourself in the mirror a lot, because it's a mirror back to your subconscious and like keeps it ever present in your mind. Okay. It's probably, if you're feeling that in your throat right now, it's probably because your consciousness is hearing what I'm saying, and it's saying like, yes, we do need to express ourselves. And so it's like your body's intuition like telling you like, hey, that would be good for us, in my opinion. You need to do what resonates with you. Okay, so the thing about black, I'm gonna get another crystal, and then I'll answer you about the color black, and then we'll talk about what's good for feeling exhausted and drained. So if I forget one of the questions, let me know. Okay. So I'm gonna use this here. Okay. So what color is good for feeling exhausted and drained feelings? So as I was saying before, your solar plexus is where you hold a lot of energy in your body. Okay, it's like with the sun, it's the color yellow. And that has to do with your willpower and your determination, that chakra. And so what I would do is I would wear something yellow if you're feeling energetically drained and exhausted. And that could be a shirt, it could be like a necklace, you could put a scarf on, you could wear yellow makeup, just something yellow that you see on yourself so it keeps it ever present in your mind. And you can almost program whatever it is, like the color, not almost, but you can program it and say like, hey, I am setting the intention that this piece of blank is going to provide me with energy. Okay, and then I believe that everything has consciousness. And so it's also important to take care of the things that you're asking to do that, and ask them if it's okay to do that, to program them. Okay, it's just like a mutual respect thing if you're working with any kind of quote unquote tools, right? Okay, so yellow for that. Okay, black. Okay, Jesse. So, no, it's not unhealthy to wear black. So wearing black is a sign that you probably need to hold better energy, or not that you need to hold better energetic boundaries, but that you need to have very strong shields. I'm not sure if you're an empath, but it sounds like you take on other people's energy like really easily. And so subconsciously, sometimes your brain will make you wear black because it puts up like a barrier between you and other people, and not a barrier to necessarily like keep them out, but it's like a protective aura color. And so if you take on other people's energies very easily, it's going to help you with that. So actually it's really healthy in the energetic link boundary department. Okay, I'm scrolling down. What do you mean by shields? Energetic shields. So my husband says I borrow people's problems. Okay, yeah, that's probably because what happens if you're an empath. I don't know if you are an empath or just like a highly sensitive person, but what will happen is, so you are talking to people and you can tap into their subconscious. And so even what they're not telling you, you can hear them like at a deeper level and pick up on what they're going through in their life. And if you're not holding good energetic shields and boundaries with people, what happens is they tell you about the things, or you just intuitively, psychically pick up on what's going on in their life. And then you take that information in, and then I'm going to put this down for a second because it's distracting me. So what happens if you're an empath or you're like helping a lot of people is you take on the people's stuff, and your body doesn't know the difference between their stuff and your stuff. And so you start to process it as your own trauma. And so you're doing other people's trauma, you're doing your trauma, you're doing double the amount of shadow work, and it can make you very sick. Because it's too much for your system. It's overloading your central nervous system. And when your central nervous system is overloaded, you're in fight or flight all the time, and then stress hormones start to attack your cells, and it's like a vicious cycle that you can get into. And so what you need to do is, or no, what you can do, is wear black. Like you said, that's great. It's very important that you call all of your energy back to you at the end of the day, especially if you're, around a lot of people throughout the day. And taking showers is great at the end of the day, and intentionally asking the water to take away people's energy from you. But wearing black is very healthy. So, like, I hear your spirit guides are just saying, like, she's fine. Or they're fine. They're fine wearing black. Okay. Yeah, black's great for empaths because it just sets up shields for you. It's like using, hold on, I'm going to grab something really quick. Oh, it's not in here, but if anybody knows a lot about crystals, black tourmaline is a great protective crystal, and wearing black is very similar to using tourmaline. Okay. I have to see my boundaries before I feel protected. What do you mean exactly by that? Black is like protection for me to hide. Yeah, black is a protective color. Especially if you're working on like different dimensional planes, astral planes, and that's something new to you. Wearing black is great for that. Great for that. Okay, so if you want to learn about, my face is so close up right now. If you want to learn about energetic shields and energetic boundaries and empaths, and you want a resource, Victor Odo on YouTube. Victor Odo. He like saved me when I learned I was an empath. He has so much information and great about shielding and taking your power back as an empath. Because if you're an empath and you're not managing being an empath very well, it can make you horribly sick. I always feel, I feel tense in my shoulder, major upper back pain. Do you also feel like you're an empath? Because I'll get into that in a second, like why that causes pain in your back. Victor Odo, yeah, so it's Victor and then Oddo, 2 Ds. And then another person, I'll let you get that one. And then another person is Christina Lopes on YouTube. Christina Lopes. Okay, so if you're an empath and your back hurts, it's because when we go in fight or flight mode, when we're not holding strong energetic boundaries or like calling our energy back to us at the end of the day, what happens is when our central nervous system is activated and we go into fight or flight, the first thing that we do is tense our back up because it's like a protective mechanism, right? And so if you do that thousands of times throughout the day, like micro times, it starts to add up. And like the stress hormones will crystallize in your body and like harden. And so something that's really good to, oh, thank you, saying I'm very beautiful with my hair. Okay, so I have to go now, but Frank is still open to receiving. Yeah, you and Frank are still going to get the Reiki until I'm done. And so we'll still be sending it to you and Frankie, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Okay, so what happens is that it crystallizes in your back, and that's what I mean. It's very important to set up strong energetic boundaries, and it's really important to get people's energy off of you at the end of the day, because what ends up happening is you take that in, and then it compounds on top of each other day after day after day after day, year after year after year after year, and it can really mess you up physically and emotionally and spiritually and mentally. Top left of your back also signifies maternal trauma. That's very interesting. I have never heard that before. Is that right side then your paternal trauma, or is that not the same, thing, or like opposing? Okay. I'm going to use my malachite. This is great for healing your heart chakra. And if you're feeling mentally unwell, right, or spiritually unwell, this is good for self-love and self-worth, self-confidence. This is good for anxiety and depression as well. I'm not saying this is a cure. I'm just saying this helps. And you said yes. Okay, that's so interesting. All of a sudden I feel my back the right of my back tensing up. I don't have a good relationship with my father. So this is my back saying like, hey, you probably need to do some healing there. So thank you for that, hippie girl. I appreciate that. My husband's knees have been bothering him. What do you think? There's a lot of variables that could be going on there. Does he have like fluid built up on his knees? Because like that's the first thing that I thought of was like I sense that he has fluid built up in his knees. Does he retain a lot of water or something like that? I'm reading a book called Electric Body, Electric Health, and it has a lot of good info. I'm going to try and remember that. That should be easy to remember. Electric Body, Electric Health. I like that. And now, when I get pain in those areas, hippie girl, I can ask myself, is this some maternal or paternal things that I need to be looking deeper into? So thank you for that. This is one of my favorite stones. I carry it in my pocket almost every day. And thank you everyone for all the likes. I appreciate that. It helps get it out to more people. And also if you follow me, I do more Reiki lives. I do a lot of EDM Reiki. That's something you're into. This is stone malachite. This is malachite. The stone is malachite. Yes. And like I said, if you follow me, I do also oracle card pulls for people. Do those lives to help bring healing as well. Yes, I am getting a very big collection of stones. It started out like with one or two, and now I have a lot of them. But I love all of them dearly. And I gift them to people. Like when it's their time to go, like when we have done our work together, and I feel like we have gotten healing from one another. Sometimes they'll let me know like, hey, I'm ready to go to a new person. And so I'll just start holding it in my mind like, oh, I have a crystal ready to go. And so like it always works out that I end up giving it to whoever needs it the most. So, okay. I'm going to put some more peppermint on my finger and help with people's crown and then their third and their throat chakras. So if you're feeling like stuffy in this area, this is very intense. So if you're feeling stuffy in that area, it will help mucus. Okay. Left knee stuck in the past, right knee scared to move forward. Ooh, hippie girl. That's awesome. That's great. That might definitely help her husband. Sometimes, like, when we have physical ailments, they're manifestations of emotional trauma. And like I said, like your emotions, if you are not processing those and feeling them, they can crystalline and harden in your body and then come out as physical manifestations. And thank you for all the likes, everyone. Thank you. And like I said, I have peppermint on my finger right now, and so I'm focusing on your upper three chakras to help get the energy moving in that area, especially if you've been feeling like you've not been feeling well with your thoughts, like you're having intrusive thoughts, or you're feeling self-doubt. Oh, you said you can smell the incense? I love that. You said, I 100% believe our physical issues start in the ether first. The physical is past tense. Yeah. Because we're all energy solidified down into matter. So, like, your emotions, yes. Absolutely. Like, my back has been hurting for a while now. And one of the reasons is because I haven't been working out like I have been in the past or stretching, but I also know it's because I haven't been taking the best self-care. And so it's my body's way of saying like, hey, we're focusing on a lot of things outside of us right now, but we're not focusing enough in here. And so that's one of my indicators when that happens. Hello to everyone who is joining in. I am doing some Reiki right now for healing. By the time we feel it, it's long gone. Yeah, it comes in, solidifies, then we finally get to process. Like, yeah. I love that you were in sync. And thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. Okay. This is probably the last crystal that I'm going to use. Because I need to do self-care and get to bed as well. And so, oh, thank you. You're awesome too. Everyone in here is awesome. Oh, I forgot. We need to do another affirmation. Okay. So I love saying affirmations because it, like we're talking about, it solidifies it down into matter. And it helps reverberate back into your subconscious. And so you have new perceptual lenses. And so what you see in your reality is what is being projected out of your subconscious. So I think it's really important to say them out loud because it helps solidify it in there. And so we're all going to say one together. I always say, if you can say it out loud, that's great. If not, you can say it in your mind. And then if you say it in the chat as well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to amplify it as well to go into your etheric body and into your chakras. Okay? Okay, so the one that I'm going to use, I wrote some down here. Okay, so we're going to say, my cells are thriving. So like the cells in your body. I like this one. My cells are thriving. And that can be in any area of your life. It does not just have to be health, because your cells, that's what rules your body. Okay, so we can encode it with little bits of information about what we want them to do. So that can be health, wealth, prosperity, abundance, anything that you want to bring into your frequency. So my cells are thriving. The cells in your body. And we're recoding your DNA. Yes, I like the caps. My cells are thriving. Okay, yes. Oh, you're so welcome, Shelly. I appreciate you being here. Because I was not feeling so well myself. Okay, and everybody that's joining in right now, we're doing an affirmation, and I'm amplifying the energy, and we're saying, my cells are thriving. Okay, so I wasn't feeling well myself in, different areas. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna get on and do some Reiki, because that always makes me feel better, because I heal at the same time that I'm helping other people heal. And then we're all in this like collective healing hub together. And so we kind of all sync up on the healing plane, and then we kind of boost each other up. And so we're all coming together. Okay, I picked up some moldavite. What do you feel about that stone? Okay. How long have you had the moldavite? Like, how long ago did you pick that up? Moldavite can be very intense, because what moldavite does is it takes away, okay, you've had it for 6 months. How's that going so far? Moldavite will help take everything out of your life that is no longer serving you. And that sounds great, right? In one aspect. And then in the other aspect, that can be very scary. Because it's like your reality starts to get real shifty, and some things start to crumble away, and it can seem like your life is falling apart. Not saying your moldavite is going to do this. I'm just saying it can help, it can amplify that energy. And so it'll start taking things out of your life sometimes, and it's for your benefit, it's for your good, because that means like other things are going to come and replace it. But sometimes when you're in that void space and you lose things and you don't know what's coming next, it can make you feel off and feel like why is this happening to me? But it's because like new things are meant to come in. Okay, I feel ick. I can't remember anything. Moldavite is not for everybody all the time. Like, I definitely don't suggest wearing that every day or having it on you every day because it's such an intense energy. I would say that, like, I have Moldavite and I wore it for like 6 months straight. And then I had like a tower moment and I had things start falling out of resonance and falling out of my life. And, you know, I thank the Moldavite for that, though, because I needed it to happen, but I haven't worn it since then. Like, my body just said, we don't need that right now. Like, we might pick that back up in the future. So you just need to ask your body, like, hey, is this something that we need in our life right now? Or is this something that I can put down and come back to later? I also don't suggest keeping it near your bed. Like, don't keep it in a drawer next to your bed or where you sleep, because it's such an intense energy. You don't want to be on the astral plane in your dream state in the Moldavite amplifying your dream state. That's just my opinion. I would just say if you're not feeling great with it on you, it's probably just saying like, hey, we don't need this right now. And that's okay. I haven't used mine in like 6 or 7 months. Like, I know it's there. And it's like waiting for me for the next go round. And not saying Moldavite will cause those things. That's if you are ready for it. Like, if you're ready for a period in your life to move into like a new chapter, Moldavite can help like accelerate that and like amplify that energy. So if you're not ready and you have Moldavite, it's not going to force those things onto you. Does that make sense? I've never heard that about dreams. Interesting. My things with my thoughts on dreams, a lot of times, not saying this is all dreams, but I think that your subconscious, your dreamscape is a way for your subconscious to work out things that are going on in this plane and take them to the extreme in a different plane. And so you can experience it there and kind of like go to the extreme side of things, so you don't have to experience that here. And it's almost like you're taking that information and then bring it to this plane so you can better sort out what's going on, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm doing a lot in dreams. You're probably doing a lot of healing. Trust our bodies to be drawn to what we need to heal. Yep. And it just sounds like maybe that's just not it right now. And that's okay. That's totally okay. It's not like you're telling the crystal you don't want to work with it, if that makes sense. It's just like, you know that that energy is not for you right now. Okay. Because sometimes, like, we're not always meant to be in shifting periods of our life, like hopping timelines. Like, sometimes it's just integration time. Like, we're just meant to rest and recalibrate. And so, like, I don't know if you just recently went through like a big shift, a transformation, but maybe you're in your integration, like your chrysalis time right now. And so it's saying, like, don't make me bust out the chrysalis before I'm ready to do that. Okay. What you just said about dreams, that's what I mean. Oh, you made your brain tingle? I realized that in my journey because I have had nightmares since I was a child, like a very young child, like horrific nightmares. Sometimes they're really bad, and then sometimes I go through periods where it's not so bad. And then when I had that realization, because I got real deep into psychology, like I went to school for psychology and I just studied so much of it. I started to notice like patterns in my dreams of like things that I was worried and stressed about, but it was like different in my dreamscape. And then when I made that realization of like, oh, it's my subconscious trying to work out an extreme situation so I don't have to hear, and I can apply what I've learned on that plane to here, it really shifted things for me. Not saying that's everybody's experience, okay? because there's lots of different planes in the dreamscape or the astral plane. I do, yes. So I do private healings. If you go to my bio, there's a link for my link tree, and I do Reiki, and I do Oracle cards. I read Akashic records. I do life coaching and energy coaching. So I do a lot of different things, and it has all the information on there. I had past life dreams. That's exciting. That's awesome. What was your favorite past life dream that you had? I'm tapping into one of my Egyptian past lives currently. Like it's like trying to download in. So just letting it come in as it's supposed to. I'm very excited about learning more about that. And thank you everyone for the likes. I appreciate it. It helps get it to more people so more people can experience the healing. I mean, like I said, if you follow me, I do more Reiki, and then I also do Oracle card pulls and spirit animals. How do you tap in? Do you mean tap in like right now for Reiki or just in general? My dreams are not exciting. I've had dreams that actually happen, and it's typically when people die. Are you having prophetic dreams? Is that what you mean? Like prophesizing what's going to happen? That can be scary. That can be very scary, especially if like the things are happening and they're not always good. You know what I mean? Yeah, that can be really intense. I feel for you. It's like you're having premonitions. So I would like to say something. If you feel like you are doing a lot of work on the astral plane while you're dreaming and you don't want to, you have willpower. And you can tell your spirit guides, I am not going to do work on the astral plane tonight. Like sometimes it's good to like help work out things in your subconscious. But if you're very exhausted and you're just tired and need some sleep, say it out loud before you go to bed. I am not doing any work on the astral plane. Okay? And for Liz, I also think it'd be very important for you to get some black tourmaline and put it in your pillow while you sleep. Because that's very grounding. And some jasper and some tourmaline, and then ask the jasper and the tourmaline to keep you here grounded on this plane. Like, be your little assistants of not doing that type of work if you don't want to. Okay? Because the thing is, too, we can hold energetic boundaries with our spirit guides. Like, sometimes we give a lot of our power over to spirit guides, and not saying, they're not great, okay? But I feel like sometimes we're called to do a lot of work on the astral plane, but like our physical body can't handle that coming back here in the waking world. It's just like too much. So like that's great for the every now and then, but if you're doing that every single night like I was doing, very physically exhausting. So I would just reiterate before you go to bed, I am not doing work on the astral plane tonight. And get some black tourmaline and some jasper and put in your pillow and ask both of them and say, hey, can y'all help keep me grounded on this plane? No astral work. Okay? Now, if that's something that's in your soul contract that you've set up, you may have to rewrite your soul contract. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like if you've contracted yourself to do work on the astral plane, like you might need to go in internally and edit your soul contract. Okay. Sorry, I had to move my contact. Okay. I'm going to go back up a little bit. I know my face is like super close into the screen. Okay. You said, I don't know if there's a favorite. I feel connected to Egypt too, but I go back to BC. I did a Egyptian Reiki code video on my main page. If you watch it, that might help unlock it. Like, that's what I encoded the Reiki video to do, is to like help you remember if you have an Egyptian timeline or past, and to like, it's a key. So if you watch that, it might help you unlock one of those. Okay. Where do I live? I live in Georgia. Ooh. Georgia in the United States, not the country. Okay, let's see. It's kind of hard because I don't realize the dream will happen until after it does. Okay. Yeah, I know having prophetic things happen sometimes is not fun, because it's not always like rainbows and unicorns. Is it okay, Liz, or for anybody in here, if I spray some protection spray on everybody? Because I feel like the things that we're talking about right now are kind of heavy and intense. And so whoever's left in here, I think it would be good for everybody for some protection spray. If you don't want to accept it, you can just say, no, thank you. You don't have to say it to me. You can just say it in your body. But I'm just going to spray some really quick for those who do want it. So this is Florida water. This is good for like cleansing away things that are no longer serving you, and help protect you on this plane, help protect you on other planes and other dimensions. And so, and I'm just sending that to everybody so you feel safe and you feel protected on this plane or other planes. Also, something that's very important that I have learned on my journey is that sometimes, we don't have to get like super into it, but sometimes our consciousness will pop out. If anybody in here ever feels like, I'm not reading the comments right now if everybody wants to pause because I took a break so I can scroll down, our consciousness will pop out. So if you ever feel like you kind of disassociate, but you're still here, but you're like trying to get your consciousness like back in your body to be present, sometimes our consciousness will pop out and check on other like concurrently running timelines or other frequencies or dimensions or planes. And so at the end of the day, it's very important that you call all of your energy back to you. And so two of the things that I say is I call all of my energy back to me that I have given to others across all space, time, and dimensions. And so that covers you for this one, and it covers you for other ones as well. And then I give back any energy that I have taken from others across all space, time, and dimensions. Okay. Somebody said, I'm interested in learning, or Hippie Girl, I'm interested in learning how to access my Akashic Records. Do you help with that? Yeah, so I read Akashic Records. If you want to do that on your own, there is a book that I recommend. It's called How to Read Your Akashic Records by Linda Howe, Howe, and it's an orange cover. So How to Read Your Akashic Records by Linda Howe, and it's an orange cover. That's how I started on my journey. That's the first thing that I did, and that book is very magical and it's very activating. Very activating. So if you're wanting to learn how to do that for yourself, that's a great place to start. If you have questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. There's a link in my bio, and then you can send me a message, and then I will answer questions for you. Okay, I'm in Tallahassee. Oh, you're like right. Okay, and you're in Alabama, Hippie Girl. Okay, that's awesome. So y'all are like next to me and right below. Okay, so everybody, protection spray. Okay, so everyone, I am going to go to bed because I need self-care as well, self-love. And so I want to thank everybody in here. I'm in VA, but we are in Georgia a lot visiting in-laws. Georgia's a really beautiful place. We have a lot of beautiful nature. There's a lot of mountains, a lot of beautiful trees, which I do very much enjoy. So if everybody follows me, I do Reikis in the future, or I will be doing Reiki in the future. And I do oracle card pulls as well. And you said you're in Virginia too, Wisconsin. Sleep well, beautiful soul. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you have wonderful sleep as well. Peace and love, sister. Thank you so much. Reach out to me on Instagram so we can talk about the Akashic Records. I love getting people that information. I also have a video pinned to the top of my profile if you go on my main page that has the book in it. And so you can see it. So thank you, everyone, and I look forward to doing this in the future. These always bring me a lot of healing. At the same time, I'm healing people, so thank you for everybody coming together like as a collective and helping each other heal, because it's not only like me healing you, it's you healing me, it's you healing other people. Like we make like a vortex of healing, like we're in a consciousness right now. So I love everybody, and I will see y'all next time, and I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. And before you go to bed, say, I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. Wish that into being, into your reality, into your paradigm. Okay, everybody have a wonderful night.